Stamp out sleeping sickness, our commitment to community care. Over the last century, hundreds of thousands of Ugandan citizens have died from sleeping sickness, a horrible parasitic disease that takes over the body of its victims, until, as the name implies, they have no energy, appear sleepless, and finally die. That's why, when in 2006 our attention was brought to an emergency situation in Uganda involving products and know-how we jointly had access to, we decided to help the Ugandan government in its struggle against sleeping sickness. An often fatal disease spread by tsetse flies was spinning out of control. Our initial program involved a collaboration between the two universities of Edinburgh in Scotland and Makerere in Uganda, together with the Ugandan government and the private sector in the form of SAVOR and iCare. The two universities had recently proven that the reservoir of trypanosome infection in cattle, transmitted by tsetse flies, was the real threat to human health. The SOS plan had four major aims. The first was to treat the cattle, which had shown to be the major disease reservoir with either Viridium or Veriben B12LA. The second objective was to implement a monthly treatment with Vecticid to kill ticks and tsetse flies and therefore prevent reinfection of clean animals. It was a massive task to mobilize people and resources to treat 220,000 cattle in very remote thick bush and papyrus swamps. The first intervention was a resounding success. Infection rates dropped from 23.4% to 4.4% in cattle, and whilst comparative data is difficult to gather, all the health workers we spoke to talked of many fewer cases of human sleeping sickness.
When that program came in, it has actually helped us so much. Even right now, if you screen animals at random, you may find that the percentage is down.
We have managed to control infection in humans in 5 districts of Uganda. We have managed to roll out this practice to cover about 250,000 head of cattle. These animals are being treated on a regular basis to prevent reinfection.
The third aim was to educate farmers and communities to understand the benefits of spraying their cattle with the insecticide on a regular monthly basis.
If you make it that simple, people will actually understand and they'll make sure that if I use this product, Vecticid, I'm not only protecting my animal, I'm also protecting my family.
And our final objective was to make low-cost sustainable treatment with Vecticid available to farmers through use of a restricted application protocol, spraying mainly the legs, ears and belly of the cow, where over 85% of the bites occur. At a cost of less than 200 Uganda shillings, or 10 US cents per animal per month, most farmers told us they are willing to pay for the treatment.
A few months after the intervention, it was clear to the community that the products used added good health to the animals. And when the students went back for more interventions, the community started demand for the services. And many animals had gone through a process of weight gain. People earned more money from the animals in the markets. And because of that, they started asking for the drugs that were used by the Makerere students.
The newly qualified vets, known as the 3V vets, have been working back within their communities.
This has been a very good chance for me to work with the local communities, sensitizing them and really carrying out what I was taught, practicing my profession down to the local people who are really in need of my services.
They have now recruited several community animal health workers who were loaned funds to purchase pumps and now provide both chemicals and spray services to local livestock owners. SAVOR and iCare provided seed capital to fund these operations, but the intention is that the young vets will eventually have to sink or swim by their own efforts.
It's been really interesting to see how the pooling of resources and know-how has enabled us to achieve quite a lot in the project with relatively little funding. Personally, I believe in the empowerment of people. If you can provide them with the knowledge and the means to start doing things for themselves, like we have done in the SOS project, they will take their future into their own hands.
The young vets are getting employment. The community is becoming semi-professional. in handling both the insecticides and the drugs. And then on the other side, the spraying teams, those who have been trained, are also getting an income.
I've seen in the people that I've worked with that they've grown, but they've been given an opportunity, and so often that's what doesn't happen in Africa.
They're taking it up and they're seeing the results. So it's something that needs to spread out the rest of the country. All those districts that have not been exposed to this should actually learn to use this chemical for restricted application, and also to treat the animals so that the sesafly will be wiped out eventually.
Where do we go from here? Well, logically, all we can do is roll it out further. This has been highly successful. I suppose the skill now, the trick is to take it further so that we beat this menace once and for all.